What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Buck with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, this evening I want to share with you a story that kind of has me concerned. I saw this a couple of days ago, and it is regarding Nichelle Nichols, aka Lieutenant Uhura. And it seems that she is in a lawsuit situation now where she's suing, I guess it would have been her manager, but it turns out he could be a con man. Her family's involved in this. It's one big old mess, guys. And I figured I would bring a little bit of attention to this because there is a GoFundMe out there for Nichelle Nichols. I believe it's called Shields Up Nichelle Nichols. All right, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to raise money for legal fees because this guy, this alleged con man, has seriously done some damage to her financial situation, and she's suffering from dementia, and there's a lot going on here, guys, and I want to just share it with you because Nichelle Nichols would be considered sci-fi royalty. She's a member of the Star Trek original series cast. I've seen her at several conventions. She seems like a genuinely warm and beautiful person. And I have to say, she was probably one of the very first, what I consider to be sex symbol black women that was on TV back in the day. It's like I had a healthy appreciation for so many of our sci-fi, sci-fantasy ladies, Linda Carter, Erin Gray. There was just so many of them, back then, and, pinups. But Nichelle Nichols was, she stood out to me because, back then it's like you didn't see a lot of like glamorous, sexy, badass black women, that were on TV and stuff. And there she was, just looking great. She wasn't looking like a mammy or, with a head wrap or anything like that. She was in the 60s and man, talk about, that mini dress, that body, that frame. Oh my God. I remember I actually name checked her in an old video that I did way back in the day. All right. And let me see if I can remember this. It was a very, very touching rhyme. And I just said her name once. But what was it? The name of the song? It was very personal. It was deep and it was sentimental. I believe the name of it was called Your Mom's Got a Big Fat Ass, right? So if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can remember this. I said, it ain't your mom's stovetop stuffing that makes me come back or the sunny delight. Nope, nope, nope. The fact is your mommy got a body like Lieutenant Uhura. Since I first saw her, I wanted to floor her. She ain't June Cleaver, but I always see the beaver at your house. Working on the garden in the yard and that blouse ain't cut off. Showing a big butt off. Watching us strut off. Of course I'd hit the slut off. When I was young, I used to fall and go boo-hoo just to get your mom to come and blow my boo-boo. Cause it's a well-known fact. She got back so round, so firm, so fully packed up. Word to your mother, even I could get smothered by your mom's big jugs when she hugs on a brother. I want to do the wham bam. I'd even say thank you, ma'am, and all the brothers that I know say damn. Oh, guys, that was a long time ago. Such a special time it was. Shout out to my old crew back then. Stolen Property, what's up? But anyway, yes. So Nichelle Nichols held a very special place in my heart. Just because she was so. She was just so banging. You know what I mean? And now, she's pushing 88 years old, I believe it is. And she's going through this, and it's very unfortunate, guys. But this article I want to share with you is on CBR.com, all right? And it says here, Star Trek's Nichelle Nichols family alleges elder abuse in GoFundMe campaign. All right, and it says the family of Star Trek legend Nichelle Nichols has started a GoFundMe campaign for the star, alleging elder abuse of Nichols by her former manager. This is by Brian Cronin. And it starts off by saying, the family of Star Trek icon Nichelle Nichols have started a GoFundMe page alleging that Nichols' former manager, the producer, Gilbert Bell, committed elder abuse against Nichols, stealing over $1 million from the star. Oh, you dirty bastard. Who would steal from Nichelle Nichols? You let me see you out there, Gilbert. Nichols' younger sister, Marion Smothers, launched a campaign earlier this month looking to raise $100,000 to help with legal costs associated with fighting Bell in court, including defending Nichols and her family from Bell's lawsuits and pursuing their own countersuits. Wow, it sounds like a mess already. And it says here the 87-year-old Nichols, who starred as Lieutenant Uhura on the original Star Trek series and the subsequent film franchise, met Bell in 2010 when the producer pitched a film project to Nichols. The two became close and Bell began to work as Nichols' talent manager. Okay, so they met in 2010. He pitched a film project to her, which didn't materialize, and then he went on to work as her talent manager. Okay, you're talking 2010. She was probably around 77 years old. Why would she even need a talent manager at that point? I mean, she's pretty much set. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to have many new projects on the horizon, I would imagine. You know what I mean? Her days of doing Star Trek by that time was behind her, unless she's doing walk-ons or, like I said, possibly, the conventions, because she was a regular with the conventions. You would always see Nichelle Nichols, Walter Koenig, okay. And also Sulu, George Takai, oh my. So they were regulars, But it says here he also began to live on her property in her guest house. So how do you do that? You go from pitching a film project to her to being her talent manager to living in her guest house. All right, now right off the bat, that sounds real slimy. All right, so it goes on to say, let me see. In 2013, Smothers, that's her sister, alleges that Nichelle was in a very weakened state following a hospitalization. Knowing that her immediate family members mostly lived outside of California, Bell took advantage of the situation to obtain her signature on medical and general powers of attorney. Over time, he continued to gain influence, fees from her many personal appearances, and even her pension and Social Security began to disappear. Where were her family when all this was going on is the question I want to know. I mean, this dude was going to work, but not really going to work. He was using her. He was being a grifter. Shout out to Drunk 3PO. But nah, it's my Dark Council brothers. He later deeded her personal residence into her name, which was the final act that triggered the petition for conservatorship, eventually granted to her son Kyle Johnson. We believe that Bell has taken financial advantage of Nichelle to the tune of well over $1 million, but we have only scratched the surface, it says. All right, well, let me see. It says here, Smothers alleges that most of the damage by Bell has already been done. Now then, they are more concerned about defending themselves against Bell's lawsuit that the 81-year-old Bell filed last year. So he's actually filing a lawsuit against them. This dude is a real piece of work. And let me see. And okay, so that's pretty much the end of that article, and they're just putting it out there. And I should also point out that, let me see, Walter Koenig, Chekhov, he also wrote on the GoFundMe campaign, and he wrote, Nichelle Nichols has been a true and loyal friend for over 50 years. She has been financially abused by a person pretending to protect her interests. I urge everyone who knows what a beautiful person she is to support the GoFundMe established in her name. It is a cause very much worth contributing to. She is one of the really great people out there, all right? And this is by the actor who played Chekhov, Walter Koenig. And that goes a long way for me. It's like, I trust Chekhov, all right? I don't know what's going on with the family. I don't know what's going on with the so-called manager, but I trust Chekhov. All right, so I am going to actually leave the link to this article in the description box, and I assume that there's also a link to the GoFundMe page also if you want to help Nichelle Nichols out. But, this is very, very unfortunate. It's very sad. It reminds me of what was going on with Stan Lee. Stan Lee built an empire. He was a legend, and unfortunately, towards the end of his life, all he got was abused and used, and it is sad. It's like I wish that our big names, the ones that I guess kind of established this whole culture, the sci-fi, sci-fantasy culture, I wish that there were a way to look out for them more as time goes by, because I just see this too often, people being used and unfortunately passing away under very, very sad conditions after giving the world so much joy. And although Nichelle Nichols was she was more of a supporting actress. Like I said before, her impact on the genre was amazing, and it was very, very significant. Because these days in 2020, we want to look around and we want to act like characters like Rey from Star Wars are breaking ground that was never broken before, and we're forgetting that there were people who paved the way, for women, for black people, for so many people, came before where we are today and made so many strides. And it's very important to remember these people and to honor these people, for the ground that they broke. Here was the first interracial kiss. Here she was being very attractive on camera, being an officer on Star Trek. And this was back in the 60s. So in 2020, when they want to act like none of this stuff ever happened, we should proudly lift up Nichelle Nichols, and Erin Gray, back in Buck Rogers, and things like that. These people actually did something. Linda Carter, of course, being Wonder Woman, as great as she was, it's important, it's very important, to remember these people and to maintain their dignity and their memory. But okay, guys, I just wanted to bring that to you and make you aware of what's going on with Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura, and I hope that you join me in wishing her well. And if there is a way for us to contribute and help, then should you choose to, feel free. All right, guys, that's it for now. You can get in the comment section and let me know how you feel. If her family were to come across this video, or even if she were to come across this video, use the comment section to wish her well. Positivity is very, very powerful, and it's a powerful energy to put into the world. So let's join each other in trying to do that. All right, guys. So I'll catch you on the next one. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and as always, you can catch me on Twitter. My link to the Twitter page will be in the description box as always. And I'll see you next time. All right, guys. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.